Hi, my name is Dennis. I'm working at Espressif in the IDE team, and in this video I want to talk about what's new in Espressif-IDE 2.8.0. You can get the latest version using update site, but if you're starting for the first time and you are a Windows user, we would recommend you to use Espressif-IDE Windows Offline installer, which does most of the work of installing prerequisites like ESP-IDF, ESP-IDF tools, and device driver required to work with Espressif chips. If you're Mac or Linux user, get the Espressif-IDE instead of eclipse-IDE and then install IDF Eclipse plugin separately. All necessary links are mentioned in the description for this video. Now let's start with important bug fixes. First, fix the issue related to application size analysis editor was not able to launch with ESP-IDF 5.0 and higher. The second issue related to OpenOCD path. Now the default value for OpenOCD path is updated immediately after tools installation. Before, it required the Eclipse restart to update the value. After the bug fix, it is best to switch between different OpenOCD versions. The next issue related to the serial port locking after flashing, and the only way to unlock it was to close and restart the Eclipse. Now this is fixed, as there was a problem with the serial monitor process holding the port. Also, there was an issue launching the serial monitor if the Python WebSocket dependency is not installed. Now the Python WebSocket dependency is checked before starting the serial monitor, and if it's not present, it is installed automatically. The rest of the bug fixes are mentioned on the GitHub release page. The link will be in the description. So now we can move to the new features and improvements. Let's start with the GDB client remote timeout. There was numerous reports from clients saying that GDB client was unable to connect with the default timeout, which is only 2 seconds, and it was out and not enough time for the target to respond. So the timeout was increased to 20 seconds. You can see it in the debug configuration here. Open the debugger tab, and in the GDB client setup you can see set remote timeout 20. The next improvement is multiple build configurations. Previously, the build settings from the launch configuration were shared between all duplicates of the launch configuration. Now you can create multiple launch configurations like this, and specify some unique parameters like a custom build folder, for example. This will allow you to build the project and flash it for multiple targets without having to clean up the build folders. Now let's take a look on two new commands, Partition Table Editor and NVS Table Editor. Partition Table is used to define the flash memory organization, and the different kind of data will be stored on each partition. You can use one of the available partition table schemes or create your own. Partition Table Editor will help you with that. Let's take a look how to create a custom partition table in the Espressif-IDE. First, you have to build your project, so the SDK config file will be generated. Now you must open SDK config file. Find partition table. Here you must select custom partition table CSV. Save and close it. Now right click on the project in Project Explorer and click on Partition Table Editor. You will be able to see the default partition table, which you can modify and save. Mine is already modified with the factory data with the NVC type for our next example, where we'll flash our custom NVC partition into this offset. It is important to note that this editor also contains validation, and if you make the typo, you will be able to see the error icon, for example, like this. If you hover over the icon, you will see the text about what is being said. To flash the custom partition table, you have to just click Launch in the Run mode. But before doing this, let's erase Flash. Now let's flash. Now let's generate our custom NVC partition with NVC Table Editor. Again, right-click on the project, NVC Table Editor. Like in a Partition Table Editor, NVC Table Editor also has validation. I already put serial number data and with a value 12. As you can see, Generate Partition button is disabled because the size is not yet specified. After I specify the correct size, it allows me to generate partition. On top, you can see the scrollable status, which says that binaries are generated in my project folders. To flash NVC partition, we must use the ESP tool. To use it in the IDE, you have to open Espressif-IDE terminal. First, select your project. Now, click on Open Terminal icon and select the Espressif-IDE terminal. This will open Espressif-IDE terminal inside your project directory. Now, to flash our custom NVC partition, we have to use ESP command with the following arguments: port, where is your board connected, write flash with the specified offset, and the path for the binaries file. In the code, you have to use NVC flash init partition command to initialize the partition. Then open it with NVC open from partition and read the value with NVC get command. This program should print our value stored in the NVC partition, which is 12. Let's check it out. And yes, as you can see, serial number is 12, as was specified in NVC partition. That's all from my side today. Thank you for your attention.